Just past the California-Nevada line, three giant casinos rise out of the Mojave. Two are dark, one still hums. In late 2024, Whiskey Pete's closed its doors with no return date. In mid-2025, Buffalo Bills stopped around-the-clock service and shifted to a part-time plan. The county granted a temporary closure through mid-2027, as long as the resort opens at least one 8-hour day per quarter. The idea is simple: keep the gaming license alive. Expect 8 to 10 openings a year, mostly tied to concerts next door. Meanwhile, Primm Valley Resort is the last daily operation in town. Step outside and the picture sharpens. The Prizm Outlets next door, once packed, were down to a single store by July 2025. Most entrances are locked. The fountains are dry. Yet, a few steps away, on the California side, the Lotto Store still draws lines. On big jackpot days, people bring lawn chairs and wait for the 8 a.m. opening. Typical posted hours run until early evening. It is one of the few steady crowds left in Primm. So, what's really happening behind the dark glass and the flicker of weekend neon? Why do the lights still pop on for certain nights? And could new transportation, like high-speed rail in the I-15 median, change the fate of a town built on the drive? We'll answer both before the end, and we'll stick to what's confirmed on the ground today. Primm wasn't built for the Strip. It was built for the road. The first anchor was Whiskey Pete's in 1977. In 1990, the Prima Donna opened, later renamed Primm Valley Resort, and a short monorail linked it to Whiskey Pete's. Then came Buffalo Bills in 1994, with 1,242 rooms and the Star of the Desert Arena next door. The arena seats roughly 6,500 and kept a steady calendar of shows. For years, the hook worked. The Desperado hypercoaster climbed 209 feet, hit about 80 miles per hour, and screamed through the casino. It was a billboard you could hear from the parking lot. But as outlet malls opened closer to Las Vegas, and California tribal casinos expanded closer to the population centers, the edge dulled. When the pandemic arrived, the coaster went quiet. It never returned to service. Walk it today. The outlet mall is almost silent. By July 2025, only one tenant remained. Most doors are chained. Inside, the echo feels bigger than the building. Old wayfinding signs still point to brands that moved out. Hand-lettered notices tell you which entrances still work and when they lock. Then, pivot a short walk and you hit a line. The Lotto Store sits just over the California line, and it still churns. On big Powerball weeks, people camp in folding chairs. Cars idle in the sun as families take turns buying tickets. Staff post cutoff times so no one misses the draw. It's one of the few places where strangers chat, compare numbers, and swap jackpot rumors. Cross the street to Primm Valley Resort. The slot floor buzzes. You hear small wins and see a few weeknight gamblers. On weekends, a small saloon puts out live music, and tucked beside it sits a free roadside legend. The Bonnie and Clyde Death Car. It is the bullet-scarred Ford V8, behind glass, lit 24 hours a day. Down the road, Whiskey Pete's sits sealed. Security patrols loop the property. Cameras watch the doors. Buffalo Bills is similar on non-event days. Do not enter closed areas. When the resort does open, it is usually for a concert night. Rooms, food, and gaming switch on for that window, then switch off again. The Bonnie and Clyde Death Car is the artifact that never left. Over the years, it moved between the Primm properties. Today, it's at Primm Valley Resort, beside the saloon, free and open 24/7. You can stand inches from a piece of true crime lore, look through the glass, and count the punctures in the metal. It's one of the few exhibits that still pulls road trippers off I-15 for a 10-minute look. If you pass too fast, you will miss it. If you stop, you'll tell someone about it later. Here's the business math. The drive market now peaks on weekends. Midweek demand fell off. That's tough for a 3-property node 44 miles, 71 kilometers from Las Vegas. Many Southern California guests now stop earlier, or they skip the stop entirely and press on to the Strip. At the same time, California tribal casinos captured a big share of the Inland Empire and Orange County crowd. Those properties are closer to home, with modern rooms and fresh food halls. When your midweek disappears, you consolidate. You keep one house active. You open a second house just enough to preserve the license. You mothball the third to save on labor, utilities, and maintenance. That's the Primm play right now. Daily operations sit with Primm Valley Resort. Buffalo Bills opens for 8 to 10 event nights a year, tied to the arena schedule, meeting the quarterly 8-hour requirement through 2027. The physical plant adds weight to the decision. Buffalo Bills alone has 1,242 rooms. The arena seats about 6,500. Energy, staffing, and deferred repairs add up fast. The Desperado coaster, 209 feet tall, about 80 miles per hour, has stayed closed since 2020. It's an icon, but an expensive one to bring back. The arena can create powerful weekend bursts, but it can't carry 5 quiet days on its back. The outlet mall's slide to a single tenant removed another reason to stop, and the mall isn't owned by the casino operator, which limits how quickly that can be fixed. Primm is built on a knife edge of convenience. It is about 44 miles or 71 kilometers from Las Vegas, close enough that many drivers skip it and keep rolling. It is about 226 miles or 364 kilometers from Los Angeles, far enough that most people stop earlier for gas or food. To win, Primm needs a reason exactly when travelers cross the state line. For years, that reason was shopping, concerts, and a giant yellow coaster. Today, it's a lotto window and a few affordable rooms. 2 big what-ifs hang over the town. The first is Brightline West. In 2024, crews broke ground on a 218-mile high-speed rail line between Las Vegas and Rancho Cucamonga. The plan aims for late-decade service. A portion of those riders will start by car, park at Victor Valley, and finish the trip by train. That could reduce weekend traffic jams in the pass. Fewer backups might mean fewer frustrated drivers looking for a state line break. Or it could make the drive smoother and encourage more quick stops because the schedule feels predictable. Either way, rail changes the I-15 equation. The second is the proposed Southern Nevada Supplemental Airport between Jean and Primm. Public meetings began in mid-2025, and officials have mentioned a 2037 target if approvals and funding align. An airport next door could bring service jobs and shift travel patterns in the South Valley. It could pull more workers to the area, create demand for weekday rooms, and spur a full replan of the outlet mall site. It could also raise land values and push redevelopment pressure across the state line corridor. Timing, finance, and environmental reviews are the big variables. While those macro pieces move, the operator has focused on the asset that still draws daily: Primm Valley Resort. Room refreshes, small amenity upgrades, and a tighter slate of weekend programming showed up in 2025. It's the "keep the lights on" plan, while the wider market decides what Primm can be next. Primm is an Edge City casino case study. When your catchment shrinks and the week goes soft, you protect cash flow. You put daily operations in the property with the best yield. You open a second property just enough to keep the license warm. You let the third sleep. Then you watch the pipelines, road, rail, and air, and you place modest bets where demand still shows up. This is not a ghost town. It is managed hibernation. Whether it wakes up depends on bigger connections and on someone giving travelers a fresh reason to stop at mile 1 of Nevada. So that's what's really happening. One casino alive every day, one pulsing with event nights, one dark for now, and a town waiting on the next connection. If you visit, stick to public areas. follow posted hours, and don't trespass into closed resorts. We'll keep tracking the rail build, the airport plan, and any moves on the mall. When the facts change, we'll update the story.